My name is Alex Gulland and I study person-centred counselling. I'm in my fourth year, so I qualified this year. But I'm also a filmmaker and I also work as an equine therapist as well. So Tales from the Borders is what it is. That's the elevator pitch really. It's stories from the front line in the Ukrainian war, and it's exploring the most innocent of victims, the pets, the exotic animals, the wildlife, and really kind of like looking at their stories through the eyes of the charity workers. I think that came from a personal standpoint, because when it started I thought it was very close to home, and when I started looking at what was happening kind of on my timeline on Facebook, my Facebook feed is kind of like full of animal stories. And I just wanted to know what was happening with them. And working with the International Fund for Animal Welfare, they've got a lovely way of describing what they do, which is helping people through animals. So animals obviously are innocent, but IFOR can kind of go in and help people. They can either help on the ground or they can help refugees with their animals to ensure that they're actually leaving the war zone in safety, but that the animals are okay to actually leave. Because I'm training to be a mental health counsellor, one of the things that we learn is boundaries. So it's, you've got to, you prepare yourself for hearing something emotional, and you do as much as you can to stop the emotion, but it's very difficult for it not to affect you. So my way of dealing with it was to have those boundaries there, but also to be able to ground myself afterwards. So by either doing another piece of work or going out for a walk with the dog. But it's quite difficult not to be moved by what you're being told. The training in person-centred counselling, which is a humanistic form of counselling, teaches you unconditional positive regard, empathy, and being congruent. So those three things are really important things for any documentary maker, interviewer to actually have. And I think it's, even before I did the course, I think I was doing that naturally, but the course has kind of fine-tuned that a little bit more. So you really are putting yourself in that person's shoes that you're talking to. And I think also then, when you're interviewing them, it's allowing them time to show their emotions. So giving them a break when they need it, but then also ensuring that you're getting that emotion across without it being too mercenary, as it were. So it's a balance. But definitely those three conditions, empathy, congruence, and unconditional positive regard really, really helps. Quite emotional. It's uncomfortable, but it's true life, and that's what documentary making is about. So a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, you made me cry." And in a way that's a good thing, because it's, you're reporting on real life, but you're also creating awareness. And I think there's so much stuff going on in the world today that some elements really need to be brought to the forefront. But yeah, a lot of people have said, "Oh, you didn't tell me I needed a box of tissues," or they've kind of cursed me, but then they've also thanked me for the awareness as well. So I hope that they take away from watching Tales from the Borders, I hope that there's an awareness there, but also that they identify with the people that are in the documentary, because they're very real people, and it could be you or me. And I think we kind of take our everyday lives for granted here in the UK. And when you look at what those people were up against in Ukraine and what they're still up against, it is terrifying. So I hope they don't leave terrified, but I hope that it moves them to do something positive, like make a donation or spread the word, or even create their own documentary about their feelings.